Jürgen, Jordan has just said that he hopes that you remain the Liverpool manager for a very long time. How long would you like to continue working and progressing with this route?
Wow. I don't think a lot of people get that question 3 years before the contract is expiring. So, yeah, we will see. It's just, I know that it sounds, I'm not sure if it sounded negative, positive. Why should we think about at least 3 years? Oh, that's the answer. At least 3 years, yeah, that's the answer. Good.
So what impact then, I mean, obviously you're back working with the boys now, what impact have you seen amongst the group now that they're working together once again, that Champions League success has had on them?
They're pretty close to each other, but they were close to each other before that. It's you see it, of course, and they were all happy to see each other again. So that's all good. Yes, holiday is good, important, true, and maybe the first 2 weeks you don't think about anything else about holiday. But then for all of us, it started like getting excited again, looking forward to the season, and to saw that. But apart from that, we are not long enough together. The four guys came now in a couple of days ago, so so far so good. But a lot of work to do, and yeah, we played a specific level last year, but which is should be the basis for what we expect from ourselves for next season. It's not about results; it's about performance, and there's still space for improvement, and that's what we are working on. But it's it's a slightly different situation to last year. Players coming back late. We had a shorter holiday than pretty much all the other teams because of Champions League final. 3 weeks later, and the season ended. That's the situation, but we knew that, so we planned that. But it's still what makes it a bit more difficult than in other pre-seasons. Maybe that's all. Apart from that, we prepare for a whole season, not only for the first game of the season, and that means we have to do the specific stuff. We have to play the games out of full training. That's what we do, like every year, and so means there will be ups and downs in the games for sure. But what we are looking for is then the general improvement and development, and that's clear. We have to find solutions. We have to for different problems in the future. We have to make decisions now for who has which fitness level in the moment, can play 45, 60, 30, whatever, or even longer. So, and that's the things we do. But the boys were in a good shape, and we were all happy when we saw each other again.
One more, Vinny, and then I'll come back.
He has only two. I thought he had only the two.
And in terms of gaining that improvement, I mean, it's very difficult to improve on a season where you've only just lost one league game. So how do you go about it?
No, that's the thing is, the first thing we have to learn, maybe you have to learn, it makes no sense to compare seasons. So if we lose 2 games and win all the others, then we have more points than last year, for example. So if the moment when we lose a game and everybody starts, then probably it will happen like this. And you can imagine already the questions where we ask after any defeat, and then that's how it is. But we know that we don't have to compare the season. It's to win the league. You have to, or to whatever, to achieve whatever. You have to be at the end the best team, and that means that through all the difficult moments, you have to go through as a group, as a unit, and that's what we did so far, and what we have to do again. And we finished last season with a massive high. Clearly, that was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It will stay with us forever, which is brilliant as well. But apart from that, it's a new season, and we know that. And we achieved what we achieved last year by working extremely hard on all the things we had to work on, and that's what we have to do again. And how I said, the boys are a year older, the boys are a year further in their career. They're more experienced in different situations. That's what we have to use, try to use, and then. Let's play football again against a lot of very, very strong teams. That's our main problem, actually, that the others don't sleep and develop as well, and so we have to be ready.
Fantastic. Neil, come from you.
I really like that that you comment my answers, meanwhile. That's good.
I know they're not here, Sarah, Firmino and Mane, but do you have any concerns over the amount of football that they've played over the last 2 years? I mean, especially with Sadio going over to the final.
I don't think it makes too much sense to talk about obvious things, and it makes doesn't help. I don't want to look like a moaner or whatever, but it's a Sadio Mane season when he finished tomorrow night was 13 months long. That's did you ever hear about a year was 13 months? That's difficult. Yeah? So it's long. We need to see how we deal with that. The others had a long season as well, but the Brazilians finished the season on a absolute high, winning 2 trophies, which is brilliant. For Mo, it was slightly different, but constantly in contact with him, he will be fine as well. So for them, it's all good. Sadio is a bit special because the tournament is so long, and I think 16 days after. Tomorrow, it's 16 days until we play City. So yeah. We have to see. I will talk to him immediately after his game tomorrow, if that's possible. When do they play? Yeah. I will talk to him after the game, and then we will find a solution for that. But the situation is like it is, and nobody really cares about the boys. Everybody's excited about the tournaments and all that stuff, but at the end, we need players to play these tournaments, and I think you saw it with the African Cup, that it was well, it was a long season for all the teams. It's not like they were all in the best shape, let me say like this. And so we have to make sure that we prepare Sadio as well for the season. But there are important games for us to come, and we know pretty much about, hopefully, which players are available. Hopefully we can go through this period now without injuries. Would be very, very important. It would be really cool. And then let's prepare the group we have around for the first couple of games, and then Sadio should be in as well, hopefully then fresh enough to go again. And but no, I'm not concerned. I know about it already for a while, and so we tried to prepare it as good as possible.
I know we haven't seen him yet in a game. We may see him soon, but Sepp Van has come in the summer. What's your first impressions of him as a player, and what sort of teammate?
A 17-year-old having a big impact, that would be really. He's just a nice fella and a really good football player. That's obvious, but we knew that before. That's why we signed him. But I saw only videos of him. That's why I was so surprised when he stood in front of me and he's taller than me. So that doesn't happen too often in my life. There are a few out there, but not too many, and especially not when they're 17 years old and probably still growing. Wonderful boy. But he decided to join us, which is really nice. But it's obviously. I will not say now a long-term project like that the boy thinks we waited the next 5 years until he can feature for us, but it's not for in this moment. We don't struggle too much in a moment for the centre-half position, so that's a position where we are where we have a lot of options, which is good, which we needed. Last year there was a moment when we had exactly one left, plus Fabinho. Should not happen again, but if, then you have to find a solution as well. And so with Sepp, it's just an outstanding talent. You can see that in each session. But the physical work in a proper man's pre-season is, you need to adapt, I would say. So it's hard for him. We try to be sensitive to that and do the right things with him, like we do individually, like we do with pretty much all the players, but a few can do everything always, and a couple of we need to have an eye on, and that's with him the same. But first impression is brilliant.
Michael, who's from Sporting News, I believe, and then goes to the German.
I want to ask you about the target. I mean, in order to get to the Premier League, Manchester City 100.98. Do you look at them at all in terms of your preparation? What do we have to do to get past them, or is it all completely focused on Liverpool internally?
Yeah, it's completely focused on Liverpool, completely. But I heard the Premier League did a rule change because it was so tight last year. I probably thought we have to make clear that if there are two teams with the same amount of points, then it's sorted already before we come in the situation. So would be great if we could be around Man City again, because that's the only possibility you have to pass them then, because they are. It's already clear they are the big favorite again. No problem with that. That's clear, and they have a very good situation. What they showed last year, especially after having 100 points in the season before, the greed they showed, the determination they showed, it was just impressive. And I don't think they would have had 98 points if we wouldn't have been around, and we wouldn't have 97 points if Man City wouldn't have been around. So we chased each other through the season, put ourselves each other under pressure, and that led to that. But yeah, Tottenham was around, was exactly on the same level until March. Probably, I'm not 100% sure, when they had a few, for them, difficult results, and that was the moment the gap became bigger. But that was the only moment. All the guys all the teams will start again. There is no duel with City and Liverpool and all the rest is watching us. That's not how the Premier League is. All these games are so difficult to play, and we know that we were lucky in the Tottenham game at home when they scored their own goal. One or two more situations for sure. We were unlucky in one or two games where we drew the game. So it's like it is. But it's what we did last year. We were really rock solid in all. That's what we were. We were difficult to play. We were difficult to outplay. In general, we always created chances. We were strong in a lot of departments. Didn't get nervous in difficult situations in the game. Could increase pressure in different situations and all on the other team. So that was all there. But unfortunately, football, especially a football team, is not like riding a bike. You lose it in a specific period. You lose on everything, but the teamwork, how one thing leads to the other, how one thing fits to the other, that's not there from the first day again. But it's still somewhere. We only have to make sure that we all remember it again. And so our improvement, our development is our main target. And if we can get better than last year, that would be great. And that's what we are looking for, and not for other teams. We play them twice, maybe, okay, Champions League, stuff like that, maybe 4 or 5 times a season. But in Premier League, only interested in 2 games. And they were always difficult, they will stay difficult, but they have to stay difficult for City as well, and for the others. And you see what Man United is doing on a transfer market, or probably will do. Arsenal want to strengthen. Chelsea has their situation, but bring all the young boys back, all the players on loan back. So if the team is not really influenced by a transfer ban, then it's obviously Man City, because they have the players already. They will be strong as well, and that's just Everton. Probably nobody wants to hear that here, but they do year in and year out. They really strengthen the squad. Good signings again. Had already a good team last year. So there are a lot of jobs to do, and that's what we have to be concerned about, and not how we can beat City. That's not the only thing we have to do. There are a lot of other things.
Okay. Sorry, those guys can come in. They're guests from Germany. They're Borussia Dortmund press. It would be mad to keep them outside. We can let those guys in. So, yeah. Sorry, guys. No problem. Anyone who's coming from Dortmund, they're more than welcome to come in, okay?
Yeah?
Of course. Right, next couple of questions, okay.
Thanks for coming with the Blue Gold Report. Can you speak a little bit about how Virgil van Dijk has impacted your team?
Is not everything written about that? I thought. Yeah, he had an impact. Good player. But it's a good person, all that stuff. Everybody, it feels only a bit awkward to say the same things so often. But it's part of my life. And so I should get used to it, actually. Yeah. I think about him, pretty much everything is said, I would say. So it's what the guy is, what the player is, how much we all, the whole group, but with him as well, like each other, that's all said. But not a lot of people spoke about the impact Joel Matip had in the last third of the game for the season, for example. I don't see a lot of centre-halves in the world. I know it's a big word, but who were better in that period, 100%. So he was pretty much without any mistakes. And he replaced, if you want, Dejan Lovren or Joe Gomez, if you want, for injuries and stuff like that. They are outstanding players. So we had a lot of them. But Virg was the constant figure in that last line. Not sure if he didn't play for 2 games or 3. Pretty much that was it. And it felt always good when you saw he's there. He organized a lot of things on a pitch. One reason is that because he wants to make life easier for him, but the other reason is because it's right. So it's He's a fantastic player, and was a pretty good signing 1.5 years ago.
We've got the next 4 questions, so I don't need to take any more. Yes, down there.
Yeah, Josh Sexton from the Outfit Rock. Jürgen, James Milner has shown himself to be a massively important part of your team once again, and also a machine on the training pitch. Just how much does he make your job easier, particularly with the young lads around the way he leads by example, and also do you think that bodes well for his career after playing?
But what's the last part of the question? What about
His career after playing.
what I know? What?
Alluding to maybe being a coach one day.
Would be a good idea. He could be immediately athletic coach, actually. James, yeah, what a guy. So it's very important, very important, and improved a lot, developed a lot. I think different positions. You know, 3 years ago, he played more or less a full season on left back. Didn't like it too much. He found different words for it. But I really think it helped him as well. To just now, he's constantly showing up in that position. I mean, when we are building up and stuff like that, it's like you have to tell him not always so deep. So he enjoyed it probably more than he knew. From character, talent, all that stuff. It's everything on highest level. That's usually it's strange, and it's only in sports you speak about a 33-year-old person like he's an old person. Think about you would do that with photographers, and then maybe it would. You didn't even start working in that age, so but Millie especially, I think with all the things he has, there are still a few good years to come, and not sure if we already have to think about what he can do after career, but if, then I'm pretty sure for a guy like him, there's always a door open in our club, 100%. So I cannot speak for everybody, but let us say as long as I am in, there will be always a place for a guy like him. And he's not, and that's very important, he's not the most easy player to handle. It's not that he takes everything like so he just would like to discuss and ask and stuff like that. So it's pretty much for a player okay, for a coach, future coach, very important. So he likes to know the reasons why you do what you do, and so that's absolutely okay. But yeah, you could see in different moments last season how much it meant to him. So, and 3 years back he came before me, so it means 4 years back then probably. I don't know exactly what people in Liverpool thought about him, but he was a free transfer. That's never a good sign, I think, for English football supporters. Sounds like nobody else wanted him, not even his own club. But it was a brilliant idea in that moment. It was a brilliant idea because without players like Millie, success in football is absolutely impossible. Because the dressing room, I'm often there, but not often enough to have all the time influence, but the players are always in, and you need the figures to deal with that, and he's perfect in that.
Okay, we've got the next couple. Maybe that.
Could you speak to your experience in the States this weekend, specifically here at Notre Dame?
Yeah, I'm surprised the weather is similar to England. It's only much warmer. That's so it feels a bit like in Hong Kong. Sorry, but it was 2 years ago we were there, and exactly the same weather. Only the pitches were different. No, it's all good. It's perfect. Notre Dame is wow, very impressive. We saw a little bit. So between the sessions, we went around. We saw the different gyms. We saw the different indoor facilities. It's a dream. In Europe, we always think we are pretty good in different things, like and especially in soccer or European football. It's we're getting better, but no club in the world has facilities like the University of Notre Dame. That's just not possible. I'm not sure if I ever saw something like that, to be honest. So it's a good place. I would have loved to study here. I'm not sure what, but probably wow. But to be around all these world-class athletes and maybe be able to use all these things as well, that would have been great. So it must be a fantastic place for young people to get through their education, get through their school and university time, and make yourself ready for the rest of your life. It really is a very, very impressive place.
Okay, last two, unless the gentleman in the second round, then we'll go to the TV.
Oh yeah, Tom Austin's from the BBC. think we were trying to work out before I came how many games you have to play this season. I think it's 7 competitions in total, with the Club World Cup and Community Shield. And we got up to about 67 in 300 days, and then someone said, well, if there's an FA Cup replay here or there, or whatever, it's going to be a real. You're going to have to use your squad more than ever this season, do you think?
Hopefully we can. But that's all what I can say about that. That was always the situation. Before the season, it's always the same. You think a little bit. You have here 1 or 2 player, not sure will they start, but blah blah blah. But will be a fight for the position. And then, how I said last year, centre half started the season with 4. How I see it, world class centre halves. And there was a moment in the season when we played when Verge was left and Fabinho played the position. So. That only happens in the most intense periods, always. So when you then these guys have to go through the most intense period, and the injured guys come back after that intense period. But then that's the situation. Yeah, it would be great if we could use the whole squad throughout the whole season. That would make life much easier. Number of games sounds big. 67 without any. Oh, but we have to go to the FA Cup final and the League Cup final.
It's a game every 4 days.
You know our history in these competitions. So we can minimize it immediately on 60. So, last year was not nice with Chelsea in the first FA Cup round. No League Cup. Wow, we had really not. The draw was not with us. Let me say it like this. We have quite big targets in these competitions as well. So how is that? Football games, we never try to avoid. We're happy about having as much as possible. That's how it is. That means you have a very successful season. Important is how we learned not only last year but now finally. You have to win the last game at least of the cup competitions. That makes it really enjoyable. And the league is how always will be the main focus on, because we play most of the games there. There's no team in the league where you can say let's send the kids there or whatever. It's all these games are so competitive and so close and decisive in all moments. So nobody can take away from us that we won the Champions League. But it will not help us a lot in the new season. So, but we know that it will not be a surprise. And to be prepared for this kind of season, you need strong opponents in the preseason. That leads us to Borussia Dortmund. They obviously have a pretty good team. When I saw the 2 lineups of the Seattle game, and I knew the squad before already. So that will be the first proper challenge in that preseason.
Gentleman from
Coach, I know you touched on this a little bit earlier, but Notre Dame Stadium, what does the view look like right now, and how excited are you to play here?
Oh, sorry, so far I only saw it from outside. Now we are not allowed to go in because of the rain, so I cannot say a lot about the stadium. But it's there. Wow! To be honest, everything is better here than it is at home, pretty much. Apart from the stadium, to be 100% honest. You wanted an honest answer or polite? Yeah. Come to Anfield and we talk again. So, we will see. Hopefully it's full. Is it sold out? Yeah, it should be. So, let me go in. I cannot get any impression from seeing a picture or whatever. So, but it will be fine. It will be great. And the grass looks at least good. But usually you play a different game in there, I think, and the grass, we are used to different kind of grass. But both teams have the same issue, so no excuses before the game already. I'm really looking forward to that game tomorrow, and it will be great, and hopefully the atmosphere as well.
Okay, final question.
And just to follow up on that, Coach, could we get you to preview the match tomorrow? Anything that you're worried about, anything you're excited about going in, what should fans expect?
Worried about a little bit the opponent, to be honest. Excited about having the first proper test, and it's because a couple of boys came later, and we have to see how we use them tomorrow. So it will be probably a rather young team. We will face a very good team. Let's guess Borussia Dortmund changed like the 60-30 rhythm for the players. Then pretty much all the big guns will start tomorrow, and that will be a tough game. So, but of course, how always in football, even in a preseason game, you play it and you want to win it. Last year we tried the same. didn't work out. Had not massive influence. It's always how it is a preseason game still, but because you can learn sometimes more from a defeat. But I still hope we can learn tomorrow a lot from a good game. So far, the boys played really well. And how preseason is, we always play them out of full training. So tonight will be a session which you usually don't have before when you play 24 hours roundabout later a football game. But we need intensity for preparing for a whole season, so we cannot make or try to avoid high intensity before a game which is obviously a big one in a stadium which will be sold out and against a really strong side. So nothing really worried about, but a few things to think about.